I rarely sleep naked, until last night when I did, and a venomous mosquito decided to strike the most awkward spot imaginable. The result? Swollen, throbbing pain, nearly fainting, and a walk so wobbly I could barely move. Swallowing every ounce of pride, I stumbled to the emergency room under the cover of night. The moment I stepped inside, I wished I could melt into the floor. There, sitting primly in the examination room, was my high school crush, James Carter. He flipped through my medical chart with a practiced hand, adjusted his gold-rimmed glasses, and looked up at me with that calm, unsettling gaze. "What's the trouble? Please lie on the bed over there, and I'll check." At the hospital's emergency desk, waiting for my number, I silently cursed my best friend Emily Stone 100 times over. If she hadn't raved about that miracle ointment, swearing it would cure anything, I wouldn't be in this predicament. Legs barely closing, forced to limp to the ER at midnight with this humiliating issue. "Miss, Dr. Carter's the only one available for emergencies. Want a number?" "Yes! Get me one quick!" With my number in hand, I hobbled painfully to Dr. Carter's room. Knock, knock, knock. "Come in!" My hand froze mid-knock as I opened the door. That voice, it tugged at a memory, like something from years ago. As I tried to place it, a sharp twinge hit my lower region, jolting me back to reality. No time to dwell. I pushed the door open, set my chart on the desk, and faced the doctor. He was about 27 or 28, masked, with a good body and fair skin. My dreams shattered. The universe loves to throw your worst fears at you, doesn't it? On the way here, I'd prayed doctor. Carter would be a kind, older woman, someone with a nurturing vibe. Even hearing his voice, I clung to the hope it might be a woman with a deeper tone. But no, reality slapped me hard. Resigned, I sat down. The moment my backside hit the chair, it felt like a rough scrub brush scraping the sore spot, itchy and agonizing. I fought the discomfort, my voice edged with impatience. "Doctor, it's really painful. Down there." Dr. Carter was still scanning my chart. At my words, he looked up, adjusted his glasses, and replied with a steady, professional tone. "What's wrong? Please get on the bed and I'll examine you." Oh no! Could this get any worse? A mosquito bite? Manageable. Betrayed by my friend's bad advice? I could handle that. But ending up in the ER at midnight with my high school crush as the doctor? Was I doomed to die of shame tonight? Any way out? Facing the guy I'd secretly adored years ago threw me into a tailspin, my soul practically fleeing. I couldn't meet James Carter's eyes, my gaze darting around like a trapped animal. A mirror to my right caught my reflection. A wild-haired mess in a baggy floral nightgown, looking utterly pitiful. Yep, that's me, all right. I must be going crazy. Why else would I grin like a lunatic at my own reflection? Patient? Did you catch that? Seeing my face cycle through panic, dread, and that weird smile, James Carter spoke up, his tone still duty-bound. At that point, I threw in the towel. With a burst of reckless bravery, I marched to the bed, flopped down carelessly, lifted my nightgown, tugged off my underwear, and spread my legs with a resigned shrug. "Doctor, come check it out." Maybe he'd been sitting too long. When he stood, a faint blush crept up James Carter's cheeks. He seemed thrown by my bold, overly casual attitude, his steps slowing as he approached. The faster this ends, the faster I can forget it. Impatience crept in, my voice sharp with irritation. "What's the delay? Can't you handle it? If not, step aside and get someone else. I'm in a hurry." It was like I'd hit a nerve. A flicker of annoyance crossed James Carter's usually calm face, but he moved closer. He slipped on gloves with careful precision, his demeanor as serious as if prepping for surgery. "Lift your knees, spread a little wider." My chart noted the discomfort, but not the cause. James Carter studied the area for a moment before asking, "Have you been overly active recently?" I felt a surge of offense. At 26, never having been with anyone, that question felt like an insult. "No." I gritted my teeth, the word sharp, ready to explain. "Doctor, it's because." Even with my resolve, the words stuck. I faltered, swallowing them, stammering helplessly. Seeing my hesitation, James Carter nodded, his expression softening with understanding. His tone stayed professional, with a hint of gentle reassurance. "Oh, I get it. You've been, indulging a bit too much. No need to feel shy. It's a normal need. But your condition suggests you've overdone it. I'll apply ointment, but no more until you're healed. Going forward, take it easy, all right?" Perfect. Now my stammering had infected James Carter too. I sat there, stunned, before his meaning clicked. A wave of embarrassment and frustration hit me, and my composure melted away. Without thinking, I grabbed his gloved hand, pulled it to the spot, and pressed it firmly, twice. See now? Feel that? It's a blister, doctor. A blister! After that bold move, the room fell into a heavy silence. I'll hand it to ER doctors. Their mental toughness is unreal. James Carter broke the quiet first. My apologies, I didn't examine closely enough. The mosquito was venomous, but it shouldn't be this bad. Did you use some random ointment or a folk remedy? Finally, the real issue. I launched into a rant, how I'd caught that vile mosquito the next morning and crushed it, then complained to Emily, only to be betrayed by her miracle cure. James Carter listened intently, occasionally glancing at the swollen red area. Soon, he prescribed medication. Seeing my struggle to walk, he kindly fetched the medicine himself. Before applying the ointment, our eyes met briefly, then darted away. The air felt oddly tense. I murmured softly, "We were at the same high school? Do you recognize me?" James Carter's hand paused on the ointment tube. "Yes, you're Sophia Green from class 6. I remember." If I'd checked my stars before leaving, they'd have screamed, "Disaster ahead." The slim hope he wouldn't know me vanished when he nailed my class. "So, do you remember the letter I wrote you?" I couldn't drop it. Maybe, having embarrassed myself this far, I might as well go all out. The man tending my wound had sweat beading on his forehead. At my question, he froze, his hand pressing a bit too hard. "Ow, easy! That hurts." A small groan escaped and the mood shifted strangely. I clarified quickly, "Dead serious. I mean, go easy with the ointment. It's so swollen. Even a touch hurts, doctor." James Carter refocused, his voice low. "Sorry, I got sidetracked by your question. But Sophia, now's not the time for nostalgia." Nostalgia? The only memory between us was that letter. By saying that, wasn't he hinting he remembered? My last hope crumbled. My mind blanked, vision dimming, and a line from that letter flashed back. A brash, teenage outburst. "James Carter, what's so special about you? I hate you. Even if you begged on your knees, I wouldn't look at you." I glanced at James Carter, now kneeling by the bed, focused on my treatment. Never tempt fate with bold words. In a bizarre twist, that teenage rant, after spending $50 on the visit and $103 on medicines, had come true in the most ridiculous way. The ointment was finally applied. I sighed in relief, reaching for my underwear. "Wait, we need to insert a suppository." "I'll do it myself." I insisted on handling it. James Carter nodded understandingly, drew the curtain, and stepped out. Ugh, if there'd been a mirror, I'd have done it myself earlier. I twisted into an awkward pose, fumbling for a while, staring at the suppository, tempted to just swallow it, but sense prevailed. I couldn't take this pain anymore. Grinding my teeth, I called softly, "Doctor, I need help again." As if expecting it, the curtain parted instantly. James Carter stepped in, calm, but his cheeks were redder than before. A doctor sees no gender, only cases, right? But seeing James Carter, flushed, sweating, I started doubting that. His blush made me squirm with embarrassment. The underwear in my hand, I couldn't wear it, couldn't remove it. Maybe sensing the awkwardness, James Carter composed himself. He cleared his throat, and his eyes regained their professional focus. "The AC's broken." That explained the warmth. Feeling silly for my earlier thoughts, I pulled down my underwear, aiming to stay professional. I wanted to prove he's a great doctor, I'm a strong patient, lift my legs again, raise my hips a bit. Get it in quick, I can take the pain. James Carter's forehead glistened with sweat, his cheeks pink, but his hands stayed steady as he worked. After a tense moment, we both sighed in relief. "Thanks, Dr. Carter," I said, eager to leave. "Here's my contact. If you need anything later, reach out." James Carter pulled out his phone, showing a messaging app QR code. His profile pic, a lonely penguin in a snowy wasteland. I blurted out, "You like penguins too?" "Yes." He smiled. "And since your visit's over, don't call me doctor anymore." What did that mean? What should I call him then? I smiled, scanned the code. "Okay, classmate Carter, goodbye. Let's not meet again. I never want to be this sick again." I pouted over dramatically, shuffling out slowly like a slow-motion scene. Back home, the pain had eased, and I finally slept well. 3 days later, I was back to normal, feeling lively again. I opened WeChat to thank James, but before I could, the high school group chat, which I thought was dead, lit up with messages. Curious, I checked it. After just one glance, my entire body trembled uncontrollably. At the same time, my phone rang incessantly. In a daze, like my soul had left my body, I mechanically answered the call. Sophia Green, have you seen the messages in the group? This is outrageous. How dare Lara Brown make up lies and slander you like that? My heart stopped. Photos of my medical chart were posted, with captions like, Sophia Green, our high school's sweetheart, caught in a midnight scandal. And pure goddess? More like a mess. Wash your eyes after this. The poster was Lara Brown, my high school rival who'd always despised me. But how did she get my chart? Only 2 people had seen it, me and James. It had to be him. Furious, I called James on WeChat. He answered quickly. Sophia, are you okay? He asked, background noise fading as he stepped somewhere quiet. James Carter, you jerk, I screamed. I regret ever liking you. I hung up, threw my phone on the sofa and broke down, memories of high school flooding back. I'd liked James so much back then. I'd done silly things to get his attention, but they all failed. I staged a chance meeting, but Emily tripped me and I fell at his feet, feeling pathetic as he frowned. Emily got me a role in the New Year's gala, but it was a penguin costume. I'd chosen it because penguins mate for life, but the MC mocked me on stage, and everyone laughed as I fled, humiliated. Blinded by embarrassment, I blamed James, writing that dramatic letter saying I hated him. But deep down, I knew he'd done nothing wrong. He was perfect, kind, and flawless. Yet now he'd betrayed me by leaking my chart, making me a laughingstock again. My phone kept ringing, Emily calling. I answered, sobbing. Sophia, are you okay? She asked. James is awful. Forget him. He only brings bad memories. Emily, you know I'm not like that, I cried. It was a mosquito bite and bad ointment. You know the truth. Please tell the group, be my witness. She paused, then sighed. Sophia, no one will believe me. I'm your best friend. They'll think I'm biased. I hung up, feeling hopeless. That night, despite being healed, I spiked a fever, my body rifting my heartbreak. Knock, knock, knock. The sound jolted me awake at 11 p.m. Sophia, are you home? Open the door. James's voice called. I stumbled to the door, feverish. James? Yes, it's me. Open the door, he said, relieved. Anger surged. Here to laugh at me? You've won? Happy now? Leave. Sophia, it's not what you think. I didn't do it. I'm here to clear your name, he pleaded. I hesitated, then opened the door, glaring at him. He frowned, touching my forehead. You're burning up. Ignoring my protests, he draped his jacket over me. Sit. Do you have fever medicine? Alcohol? I pointed to a box by the TV. No medicine, but there was alcohol. He wiped my hands, feet, and neck with gauze, then handed me the rest. Wipe your chest yourself, he said, turning to boil water. He returned with a warm cup. Drink this. It's not too hot. After 30 minutes, my fever broke. Thanks, I mumbled. Sophia, I didn't leak your chart, he said firmly. I saw the group messages after your call and explained everything. The medical terms, the medication. To clear your name. Then who did? I asked, confused. Who else saw your chart? He pressed. I shook my head. Only us. Then he asked, what about Emily? No way, I snapped. But then I remembered. She'd visited me after the hospital and flipped through my chart. A chill ran through me. Emily's help over the years, tripping me, the penguin role, refusing to defend me, it all clicked. She'd sabotaged me. I broke down, collapsing into James's arms. Why? I thought she was my friend. He held me, soothing me. It's okay, Sophia. Don't cry. Everything's all right now. I pulled back, furious. I can't let this go. He nodded. We won't let her get away with this. The air grew charged. I blushed, remembering my harsh words earlier. I'm sorry, Dr. Carter. I misunderstood you, and thanks for defending me in the group. I'm not your doctor anymore, Sophia, he said softly. I'm here because I care about you. My heart stopped. You? Care about me? He smiled, flicking my forehead gently. You're not that clueless, are you? My mind reeled. He continued, back in high school, I liked you too. I asked Emily about you, but she said you hated me. Your letter confirmed it. Or so I thought. Seeing you at the hospital, I realized I might have been wrong. I didn't want to miss my chance this time. Tears welled up. Our crushes had been mutual, ruined by Emily's lies. We confessed under the moonlight, our feelings finally aligning. As dawn broke, we fell into an awkward silence, unsure how to act as new lovers. His phone rang, an ER call. Rest well, Sophia. I'll visit this afternoon, he said, grabbing his jacket. Okay, be safe, I replied, both of us overly polite. At the door, he paused. Can I hug you, Sophia? I I panicked, overthinking. I can't seem too eager. Just one hug, right? I asked cautiously. He laughed softly, pulling me close. As many as you want. I melted into his embrace, savoring the warmth. His phone rang again, but before leaving, he kissed my cheek. Rest up. Tell me what you want to eat later. I'll bring it or cook for you. I nodded, dazed as he left. After a nap, I dressed up and headed to Emily's office, ready to confront her. She looked shocked to see me so radiant. Surprised I'm doing well? Disappointed? I sneered. What are you saying? I'm glad you're okay, she replied, her voice too loud, hiding her guilt. I smirked. Tired of pretending, Emily? I thought Laura hated me most, but it was you all along. You sabotaged me for years. I threw a stack of papers at her, proof she'd stolen my designs to build her career. Her colleagues gasped, reading the evidence. Her boss glared, waving her off as she pleaded with me. Sophia, help me. We made those together, right? Don't let me lose everything. Our friendship means nothing now, I shot back. She lunged at me, enraged. I stayed by you for 10 years? Does that mean nothing compared to James? I loved you, Sophia. I couldn't stand seeing you with him. She pulled a dagger, pressing it to my throat. You're mine. No one can take you. The office panicked as blood trickled down my neck. Just then, James burst in, his face pale but determined. Emily, hate me, not her. Let her go. I'll take her place, he said. No, I shouted, making Emily tighten her grip. You two are pathetic. Who cares about me? She screamed, spiraling. James raised his hands, taunting her. These hands touched Sophia. Don't you want to cut them off? As she fixated on his hands, he yelled, Earthquake! She glanced up, distracted. In that moment, he disarmed her with a syringe, sedating her. Screams of murder erupted, but James stayed calm, bandaging my neck. It's a sedative. She's fine. I'm a doctor. I used a safe dose. Police are outside. I reported her for leaking your info. The police confirmed his story, taking Emily away. James carried me to his car, asking softly, Does it hurt? Let's go to the hospital. I shook my head, tears falling, not from pain, but gratitude. Why do you keep crying? He asked, worried. You're so stupid, I sobbed. Blocking a knife with your hand? Don't you know it's dangerous? He smiled. I couldn't let you get hurt worse. I grabbed his scratched hand, crying harder. I'm fine, he assured me. Want proof my hand still works? I pouted. How? He grinned. It's time for a follow-up. Lie down. I'll check your neck. I laughed through my tears. You're ridiculous, James. After all this, you're still playing doctor? Only for you, he said warmly. No more heroics. Deal? Deal, I agreed, smiling. But let the police handle knives next time. He chuckled, carefully cleaning my wound. Hold still. It'll sting a bit. As he worked, I watched him, my heart full. The chaos was over, and we'd found our way to each other. At the hospital, James insisted on a thorough checkup despite my protests. I'm fine, I said, rolling my eyes as he examined my neck with the same care he'd shown days ago. Humor me, he replied, his tone soft but firm. You've been through enough. I need to be sure. The shallow cut was already healing, but he applied a fresh bandage and prescribed a mild antibiotic to prevent infection. No more drama for a while, okay? He teased, adjusting his glasses. I grinned. Only if you promise to stop playing hero. Deal, he said, mirroring my earlier words. He hesitated, then added, I meant what I said earlier, Sophia. I don't want to miss my chance with you again. My cheeks warmed. Neither do I admitted. But where do we go from here? He smiled, a rare, unguarded expression that made my heart skip. How about dinner? Tomorrow night after my shift. I'll cook, unless you'd rather go out. Cook, I said quickly, curious. But don't poison me, okay? He laughed, the sound light and genuine. No promises, I'm a doctor, not a chef. We left the hospital hand in hand, the tension of the past few days finally lifting. For the first time in years, I felt hopeful, like the future held something worth looking forward to. A week later, I sat in a small courtroom, testifying against Emily. She'd been charged with leaking my private medical information and assault with a deadly weapon. Laura Brown faced charges too, for spreading the defamatory post, though her role was smaller. Emily sat across from me, her eyes hollow, a stark contrast to the vibrant friend I'd once known. Her lawyer argued she'd acted out of unrequited love and emotional distress, but the evidence was overwhelming. My chart, the stolen designs, and the office incident. When it was her turn to speak, she looked at me, voice trembling. Sophia, I'm sorry. I didn't know how to handle loving you. I thought if I kept you close, if I stopped anyone else from having you, maybe you'd see me one day. I was wrong. Her words stung, a mix of pity and anger swirling in me. I'd trusted her for a decade, only to learn it was all a lie. But seeing her now, broken and remorseful, I couldn't hate her completely. I forgive you, Emily, I said quietly, my voice steady. But I can't forget what you did. I hope you find peace, but it won't be with me. The judge sentenced her to 2 years in prison with mandatory therapy and issued a restraining order. Laura got community service and a fine. As I left the courtroom, a weight lifted off my shoulders. It was truly over. That evening, I arrived at James's apartment for our dinner date. He opened the door, apron on, glasses slightly foggy from cooking steam. "You're early," he said, flustered. "Wanted to catch you off guard," I teased, stepping inside. The smell of garlic and herbs filled the air, surprisingly pleasant. He'd made pasta with a creamy mushroom sauce, paired with a simple salad. We sat at his small dining table, a candle flickering between us. "Not bad, Dr. Carter," I said, taking a bite. "You might have a future in the kitchen." "Glad you think so," he replied, grinning. "But I'd rather stick to saving lives and keeping you out of trouble." We laughed, the conversation flowing easily. He told me about his grueling ER shifts, and I shared my new freelance design projects, finally pursuing my passion without Emily's shadow. After dinner, we moved to his couch, a movie playing in the background. I leaned against him, his arm around me, feeling safe in a way I hadn't in years. "Sophia," he said softly, turning to me. "I know we've had a wild start, but I wanted to do this right. Be with you, properly. What do you think?" I looked into his eyes, seeing the same sincerity he'd shown since that chaotic night in the ER. "I think I'd like that," I replied, smiling. "But no more mosquito bites, okay?" He laughed, pulling me closer. "No promises. Life with you seems to come with surprises." As we kissed, the past faded away. Emily's betrayal, the high school heartbreak, the hospital drama, it all led us here. And for the first time, I was grateful for the chaos because it brought me to James. 6 months later, James and I stood at the zoo watching penguins waddle on their icy slope. "Still your favorite?" he asked, squeezing my hand. "Always," I said, leaning into him. "They mate for life, you know?" "I know," he replied, his voice warm. "Kind of like us, don't you think?" I grinned, my heart full. "Yeah, kind of like us."